indeed to the 15th All Energy here in Glasgow. I'm Judith Patton. 15 shows ago, I helped create what has grown to be this glorious show. Some basic facts before I hand over. We have, over the next 2 days, over 440 speakers who between them are talking for an incredible 120 hours. They're covering every form of renewable and sustainable energy. They're covering things that now are given the title Sustainable Cities, because that's such a fascinating way to go. Business energy efficiency. It's a really superb conference, and I would love you to soak it up like mad, but I also would love you to go into the exhibition. We have 450 exhibitors from 20 countries who are dying to talk to you about your needs. So please enjoy all of that. And it's a little early to suggest that we have a drink, but at the end of today, follow our splendid piper, Ian Todd, who I saw come in here, so thank you as ever, Ian, over to the Glasgow Science Museum for our giant networking evening. It does exactly what it says on the tin. It's giant, it's for networking, and it enables you to carry on the discussions that you've started now, and we hope that you'll continue throughout the 2 days and the coming year. Without any more ado, I would like to hand over to your chair for this session, and that is Keith Anderson, who is Chief Corporate Officer of ScottishPower. Enjoy your time with us. Thank you.
Good morning. Welcome. Thank you, Judith, for the introduction. It's fantastic to see so many people here. It's brilliant to see the All Energy Conference in Glasgow, and thank you to the organisers for choosing Glasgow for the conference this year, and hopefully for many years to come. Obviously, being from Glasgow, working in Glasgow, you might think I'm a little bit biased about the choice of city. And there are obviously many, many ways to compare cities and pick which is your favourite and the best. Personally, I would advise you to do that on the basis of breakfast. So my advice to you is take Judith's invitation, have a drink tonight, get up nice and early in the morning, get yourself a roll with square sausage and brown sauce. The brown sauce is essential. Have breakfast, go and vote in the general election, and then try and tell me Glasgow's not the best place to be. Now, ScottishPower is obviously centred in Glasgow. It's our home. It's a place we love. You can trace our roots back here to the SSEB, the South of Scotland Electricity Board, but we still see Glasgow as very much being our home. We're investing in the city. If you walk out of this building, look across Glasgow skyline, you will see three huge big cranes, which are currently constructing our new head office, and be the biggest building we've constructed for a long time. It's the largest sole occupancy office investment in Glasgow for about 25 years, and it shows our commitment to Glasgow and how much we believe in this city. I'm sure when he gets here, although he's stuck in traffic in his own city, Councillor Matheson will do a far better job and sales pitch in Glasgow than I could ever do, so I will leave that to him. Glasgow is also incredibly important to renewables and the renewables industry. Our universities offer some of the best master's degrees, some of the best research facilities, some of the best research programs anywhere in the United Kingdom, in fact anywhere in Europe, and we're rapidly becoming a leading centre of excellence for renewable energy. Scottish Enterprise and their new programme called Innovo is being set up in this city. It's being co-located with the Technology Innovation Centre at the University of Strathclyde. And again, I'm sure later Sir Jim MacDonald will be talking about all of the work that they're doing at Strathclyde University in supporting this city becoming a leading player in renewable energy. Not only is the location of the conference very, very good, the timing in many ways couldn't be better, unless you've been on another planet or hidden underground for the last 6 weeks, you will be aware that tomorrow we have a general election. And let's just hope it doesn't take another 6 weeks to form a government after 6 weeks of electioneering, because such instability really isn't good for our industry. It's not good for our consumers. We need to be able to plan. Everything we do as an industry is so long-term. We need to see that certainty and that future. If we are to be able to make a lot of the investments required, whether it's 100 billion, 150 billion pounds of investment in this industry over the next 5 to 10 years, we need that clear line of sight of government policy. I'm sure the Minister, Mr Ewing, will also be able to give us a great perspective when he speaks about how the SNP intends to play its part in shaping the future of energy policy for Scotland and the United Kingdom. And then we've got two fantastic other speakers coming up, in Ben Sykes and Ian Marchant, both with huge experience in renewables and the energy sector, and I'm sure they'll be able to share their views on the future and how they see the future of this industry developing. Before I hand over to all of them, I'm allowed to indulge myself a little as chair and say a few words on what I would like to see and what ScottishPower would like to see in terms of the future, and some of the things we would like the new government to think about and focus on as we move through the next few years. First of all, Competition and Markets Authority. For the first time, the sector has been referred to the CMA. It is an incredibly comprehensive and rigorous process. They are experts in their field, and our first ask is let them do their job. Let that review continue, let it finish, let's implement the recommendations, and then hopefully beyond that we can all move on with greater confidence about competition in the market, give consumers greater confidence and give investors greater confidence. We as a company are investing £1.3 billion this year in the UK. I want us to invest another £1.3 billion in the UK next year and the year after and the year after, and that's what we need. We need clarity and we need certainty to allow us to do that. Secondly, the EMR, the Electricity Market Reform. It's been done, it's been completed. We've seen the implementation of some of the key mechanisms in the back of that huge review. We've seen the first round of CFDs. Again, we were incredibly pleased to win a contract for offshore wind for our 714 megawatt offshore wind project at East Anglia. Thanks to all of the engineering work that's been going on in the sector, the procurement work that's gone on in the sector, we are seeing prices come down rapidly and costs come down rapidly. And I think the industry is now well on track to deliver and exceed the target of £100 a megawatt hour by 2020. We also have seen the first running of the capacity mechanism, and again, in many respects, it was a huge success. It has shown what competition can do in the market in terms of driving down costs of thermal generation and concluding that we can get enough thermal generation on the system. Obviously, we were sad and disappointed that Lungannet, our big coal plant, couldn't take part and wasn't viable under that mechanism. And sadly, unfortunately, we think we're probably going to have to end up closing that plant. However, overall, the capacity auction and the capacity mechanism, again, as another part of the EMR process, was incredibly successful. Thirdly, cost effectiveness and affordability will remain at the heart of everything we do as an energy sector and also as a renewable sector. And therefore, our third wish is, please don't close the door on onshore wind. I know everybody loves talking about offshore wind, and offshore wind is getting a huge amount of focus and attention in the energy sector, in the renewable sector, but there is still a massive amount to do in the UK in terms of onshore wind, and we would love to see that continue. It is incredibly cost effective, and it would be such a shame for us not to maximise the benefit of onshore wind. We, again, as a company, already have over 1,500 megawatts of onshore wind up and running. We're in the process of constructing almost another 500 megawatts of onshore wind this year, and we would like to carry on with that build-out programme in the future years. Fourthly, as more wind comes on the system, that creates some of its own challenges, and we think opens up the market to look at further pump storage investment in the UK. Unfortunately, the current market mechanisms don't really incentivise or make investment in pump storage look all that viable at this point in time. And again, that's something we would love to see a future government focus on the opportunities of expanding or building new pump storage facilities like Cllr that we already operate. They are a fantastic resource and a fantastic way of ensuring the stability of the market going forward. So, those are the 4 asks that I have. I'm sure each of you will have your own asks and your own wishes from a future government. My belief is that this industry can and will benefit consumers going forward through that investment. It will benefit the growth and investment in the supply chain. It will benefit investors. And most of all, it will bring huge benefit to the whole of the United Kingdom. And that, I think, is a great success story for the industry and a great success story for any incoming government. I hope you enjoy this first session. I hope you enjoy listening to the words of wisdom from all of our panel and all of the speakers, and that it gives you some food for thought for the rest of the conference and moving into some of the other conference sessions. So my job now as chair is to hand over to each of the panel, make sure they don't talk for any more than 15 minutes. For some of them, that's a big, big challenge, but we will make sure they don't do that. I'm sure they will achieve well. Firstly, it's a real pleasure for me to hand you over to Councillor Gordon Matheson, who leads Glasgow City Council. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Chair, Minister, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning to one and all, and a warm welcome to Glasgow. Welcome to Scotland's largest, friendliest and most stylish city. Hear, hear. Thank you. If you haven't been here before, get out and about. It speaks for itself. We are the powerhouse of the Scottish economy, the engineering, learning, smart, sporting, media, retail, cultural, bioscience, renewables, music and conference capital of Scotland, and we are famously understated. We were once the second city of the British Empire, and last year, by universal acclaim, we became the first city of the Commonwealth when we hosted the best Commonwealth Games that there have ever been. We once bestrode the world with products of iron and steel. Now we see a digital Glasgow being forged in the crucible of the smart cities revolution. We are the location for the largest number of renewables jobs in Scotland. And as of now, we are the new home of all energy. I've been looking forward to saying that. As leader of the city and chair of both Sustainable Glasgow and Glasgow City Marketing Bureau, I want to thank you for bringing this major event to Glasgow. Thank you for acknowledging Glasgow as the right place in which all energy can further grow. Glasgow is the renewables and conference capital of Scotland. The fit is perfect. Our marriage is quite beautiful. It's important to me that we work together to grow a green economy in this city. That's at the heart of the Sustainable Glasgow agenda. And it's really encouraging and inspiring for me to see so many businesses present today. Colleagues, carbon is our new currency. Like all coins, it has two sides. It presents huge challenges. We all know that we need to decarbonise our energy supplies and deal with the impacts of all that carbon dioxide which we've put into the atmosphere. But it also offers enormous opportunities, the kinds of opportunities for green goods and services which are featured and highlighted here at All Energy, at both the conference itself and at the exhibition. There are opportunities for Glasgow to develop and thrive even further as a low-carbon hub, with renewable energy at our core. I'm proud to tell you that Glasgow is almost halfway towards our target for reducing my city's carbon emissions by 2020. or to make that somewhat abstract statement perhaps a wee bit more tangible, our carbon reductions in this city since our 2006 baseline equate to 164,000 return flights from Glasgow to Sydney. That's the degree of success from our work so far through Sustainable Glasgow, but it also highlights the measure of the challenge still lying ahead. We need to redouble our efforts to keep on track. We need to ensure that Glasgow's post-recession economy grows in a carbon-neutral way. These are precisely the challenges that All Energy addresses. Here today, in this audience, I see the people who will deliver those solutions. What are some of the things that will help us to get there? Well, I'm proud to tell you that my council has signed the first deal of its kind in the UK with the Green Investment Bank to replace 10,000 streetlights with new energy-efficient LED lanterns. The first tranche of replacements are being delivered literally as we speak. Energy usage will be reduced by an average of 52% by the new lanterns, and the programme will give the entire council a further 3% savings on our 2020 carbon emissions targets. We also aim to be a national and global leader in the smart cities revolution. Our Future City Glasgow programme is delivering new projects on the ground to further reduce our energy usage and improve urban life. Cities are where it's at. Most of the challenges of our age are based in cities, and all of our solutions to those problems will come from cities. For example, just outside this venue, you can see new intelligent street lighting on the Clyde walkway. It uses sensors to detect pedestrians and cyclists, and the lights dim and brighten according to public usage. On that subject, I hope that all of you will take advantage of our hugely popular bike hire scheme to get to and from this venue. It's only rain. It's been so successful that we're adding a further 10 bike stations across the city. It's the largest and by a mile the most successful bike hire scheme in the UK outside London. And there's a station, in fact, just outside this building. And if the bike isn't quite for you, then you can take one of our electric buses on the 100 service, which run from the city centre to this venue. They emit zero emissions and are a wonderful example of a partnership between my council, Strathclyde Partnership for Transport, and the Scottish Government, and all under the Sustainable Glasgow banner. And on the, I've referenced the Scottish Government, I want to make a particular comment of welcome to my friend, Fergus Ewing. Fergus and I work in, well, we're in different political parties, but it doesn't mean that we don't work together. And indeed, our partnerships have produced real fruit in terms of the collaboration between government and this city. Fergus and I have worked on a whole number of joint initiatives in the different briefs that you and I have held over the years. So it's a real pleasure that once again we're sharing a platform and sharing an agenda here. Conference Glasgow is the UK home to the offshore renewable energy catapult. My council is leading the way with open data mapping, which allows communities, for example, to see if vacant and derelict land is suitable for solar photovoltaic panels. My council is also developing an energy services company. Our plans for that will be finalised by this summer. It's going to be a major new approach to the challenges of delivering affordable warmth and reducing carbon emissions. I think it's a great example of municipal activism to help drive our joint ambitions for sustainability and social justice, or what I call turning green red, which tells you a bit about my politics. We've delivered an energy and carbon master plan, as part of a major EU-supported project this year. It sets out our plans for reducing our carbon emissions and gives real confidence to the market in where investments can be made. It's a green print for a low-carbon future for this city. This work has involved our partner cities of Riga, Gothenburg and Ghent, and I extend an especially warm welcome to colleagues from these cities. Work continues apace on our recycling and renewable energy centre, which is due to begin operations next year. It will reduce landfill in this city by a staggering 90%, 90%. And actually will save, and this interests me, I used to be city treasurer, it will save us £250 million, which otherwise is a cheque that we would have to write to the Chancellor. It will also save 90,000 tonnes of carbon emissions every year and recover enough energy to power the equivalent of 22,000 homes. Friends, as chair of Glasgow City Marketing Bureau, I'm particularly keen that my city's work on sustainability can attract green conferences and events to this city. Today is a wonderful testament to an ambition delivered with the arrival of All Energy. And it's another example of where Fergus and I worked together to promote the conference business within Glasgow. Thanks to our growing reputation in this area, we've recently attracted the prestigious European Climate Change Adaptation Conference for 2017 here to Glasgow and specifically to the Scottish Exhibition Conference Centre. I want to see more such events making their way to my sustainable city. It's remarkable to think that tourism, of which business tourism plays a key part, has more people employed in this city than have worked in the shipyards in my lifetime. You may also know that 2015 is Glasgow's Green Year. We bid to be the European Green Capital, which was won by our sister city of Bristol, but being Glasgow, we just decided to go ahead and do it anyway. We have 12 themes across 12 months and dozens of activities to engage in. I would encourage you to follow our Twitter account at Green Glasgow and get involved. Please also get yourself along to the Sustainable Glasgow stall right by the registration desk in the exhibition area and try out our PaveGen resource. It allows you, wait for this, it allows you to walk, jog, or dance your way into converting your kinetic energy into electricity and using that electricity to download our Green Glasgow app onto your smartphone. That's a good idea, isn't it? It's sustainable and it's fun, just like All Energy. And if your dance moves are perhaps a bit inelegant, then you can ask your colleagues just to turn a blind eye. I'd encourage you to get your businesses actively involved in our agenda, particularly through the Green Business Network pioneered through the Glasgow Chamber of Commerce, and the partnership between Glasgow City Council and our Chamber of Commerce is strong and getting stronger year by year. You can talk to the Chamber at our Sustainable Glasgow stall and also hear more from Invest Glasgow about support for your business. Colleagues, this year commemorates the 250th anniversary of James Watt conceiving of the separate condenser to the steam engine as he walked on Glasgow Green. This was perhaps the single most significant act in the powering of the Industrial Revolution. This city shaped history on a grand scale, and today this city is once again transforming ourselves from the carbon belching centre of a global economic revolution to the low-carbon, smart city of a new green future. We will continue to deliver that transformation through the innovation, creativity and talent of companies like yours and through events like All Energy. Our friends from Glasgow Science Centre are also at the Sustainable Glasgow stall, and they'll be previewing their Powering the Future exhibition. This is a major industry-focused exhibition which will tell the story of energy from our carbon-intensive past to our low-carbon future. It also allows us to engage young people in thinking about STEM subjects and related careers. This is an issue that I take very seriously. I acknowledge that my council has a key part to play in supporting green industrial growth by attending to the supply side of the economy. So I've instructed my officers to produce a green jobs strategy. It will address the needs for a pipeline of skills required for a green future to this city. We will encourage boys and girls at school to consider their subject options and specifically encourage them to focus on physics so that they can take the opportunities that are emerging from the work that you do. We will look to ensure that Indigenous green business growth and inward investment alike can be nurtured with a strong offer of local skills and local talent. Finally, Chair, I want Glasgow's relationship with All Energy to grow and develop over the years ahead. You're already the largest renewables event in the UK, and I want my city and Sustainable Glasgow to help you to become the biggest in Europe. You knew when you decided on Glasgow that you were coming to a city with drive and ambition, and we will continue to deliver. I hope that you have a truly wonderful conference, colleagues. I've been looking forward to this day for some time. Remember to explore the exhibition and network ferociously. I also trust that away from the conference, you will succumb to some of the many temptations that my city offers. I wish you every success, and may All Energy, like Mother Glasgow herself, continue to flourish. Thank you all. Welcome to Glasgow.